B-March Boxing back at it with another post-fight review. Gerald Washington versus Charles Martin, IBF heavyweight title eliminator fight. Winner gets a shot at the IBF title, held by Anthony Joshua. Man, this was a good fight, man. Man, in the first round, Gerald Washington was landing some beautiful straight right hands. Then the man Charles Martin wasn't having that, man, and got into a slugfest early in the first round. Charles Martin was clapping him with straight left hands in the last 30 seconds of the fight of the round. I gave round one to Gerald Washington because of the early work he did in the first 2 minutes. With the straight right hands, using his jab, using some lateral movement. Catching the man Charles Martin, but Charles Martin wasn't having that. He started throwing bombs, and they got into a slugfest in round seven. Excuse me, in round one. You know what I mean? So started becoming a tactical fight after that. Not really much haymakers and big slug shots being taken or thrown in the rounds after that, especially round two and three. It was more of a jab fest, guys trying to figure out range and position. You know what I mean? Southpaw versus orthodox. And Gerald Washington was landing some punches, but the man Charles Martin would come back and he was finding a home with his straight left hand more than the man Gerald Washington was landing the straight right hand. You know what I mean? He was clapping him with the straight left hand. You know what I'm saying? And Charles Martin looked very composed in there. He didn't look like he was worried about anything that Gerald Washington was throwing back at him. He kept a nice defense. He did move his head and parried a couple shots. You know what I mean? I was impressed with how he was moving. And not forcing anything. You know what I mean? But waiting for openings, and he found an opening in round seven. You know what I mean? Caught the man Gerald Washington with a beautiful flush left hand. Looked like the man Gerald Washington was walking into it. Straight left hand, one shot. You know what I'm saying? The appetizer for the heavyweight fight that we had tonight was Gerald Washington clapping and laying the man Charles Martin laying Gerald Washington flat on his back. Beautiful knockout punch, and Charles Martin is now the mandatory for the IBF spot. You know what I mean? Or after Anthony Joshua fights the winner, after he fights Pulev, and if he beats Pulev, then Charles Martin has next. You know what I mean? A lot of people are not interested in seeing this fight. We've seen it before. But hey, man, congratulations to Charles Martin. He did a beautiful job with the knockout. Fighting a guy that he knows personally, a guy that he sparred before. I thought this fight might go the distance. I thought it had the distance written all over it, especially with how the rounds were going, rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. It was very tactful. You know what I mean? It was a chess match. But round 7, it became a fight, and Charles Martin laid Gerald Washington out. Beautiful knockout, and we shall see when he gets his title shot. More than likely in 2021, but time will tell. Be Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments, and I'm out of here. Peace.